Today's video is about seizing the moment now. To seize the moment now is to have all these thoughts in your head about you wanting to do something in the future for your own good. Whether that be you seeking financial freedom, you seeking, just freedom at, whatever you want to be in life. But whatever you want to do in life, you have to do it now. Now is the perfect time. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. Because now is the time where you have the most freedom. It's the youngest that you will ever be. Because in a couple of years, you were going to be thinking to yourself, dang, I should have started younger. I had all the ideas. I just should have started younger. So I'm taking the initiative and I'm taking action and I'm grabbing the world by its freaking hair and I'm trying to, do something with my life. And I don't want to be, 30 years old and, looking back and saying, I should have started younger. It's 2025. I'm 18 years old. I'm still in high school. I graduate in June. But I have just so many ideas and thoughts that I need to get off my head, and this YouTube channel is basically the proving of my hypothesis, basically. And what I'm trying to prove is now is the best time to do it. You got to seize the moment now, because if you procrastinate, you'll get nowhere in life. And you don't want to be in your parents' house when you're like 24 or 25. No one wants to be like that, and I have a future and I have a career ahead of myself, and I really want to be, and I really want to basically have financial freedom. And I'm gonna learn, and obviously I'm gonna fail. No one's guaranteed anything. Everyone's destined to fail in life, but it's not really failing, it's really just learning and building blocks to your success. Failing, what really failing is giving up on yourself and basically telling yourself that you can't do it, and telling yourself that every morning that you can't do it, you're not good enough, or I'll do it tomorrow, whatever it may be. But that's really failure. And if you give up on yourself and you settle for less, what is your brand? You just got to ask yourself that every day. Like, what is your brand? How do you value yourself as a person, as a human? And I don't have all the time in the world, but tomorrow's not promised. And my parents are a little older now because they are my grandparents that raised me. So I don't really have much time to make them proud, because I want to make them proud. So I have to get it. I have to do it now, and I have to analyze and take the right steps. But it's all learning. Life is about learning, and eventually I will be smarter, and eventually I will have the dream that I've been thinking about and proving my hypothesis correct. And you just got to ask yourself, what do you want in life? Whether it may be material, whether it may be something more deeper in that. What do you want in life, and what are you willing to do to get what you want in life? If it's as bad as you want to breathe, eat, whatever, you'll find a way to seize what you want. You'll find a way. If you want it as bad as you really like, if you really want it as bad as you could breathe or to live, you'll find a way. And talking to yourself is normal. Talking to yourself about these ideas, these goals, is honestly what is even bringing me to make these videos. I'm honestly getting smarter. I'm reading more books. I've been reading this book, right here. Let's see. It's Atomic Habits by James Clear. And it's really been showing me how to act like the person you want to become. If you want to become a millionaire, what would a millionaire do? What would a confident person do? What would a financially freedom person do, or whatever? Like, what habits would they do? And creating good habits and seeing what habits are good or bad. That book is really just helping me, and I do feel like I am getting smarter. I am maturing because, you know, I know that I've done some stupid stuff in my life, but it's all just a plan to success. It's all building blocks. It's all a road to success. And, you know, I do feel like I am maturing as a young adult, and hopefully I can see these videos in the future and look back and say, you know, that was like, it was kind of crazy to see myself. You know, I am documenting this, so it's kind of like crazy to look back, and I'll look back and say, like, you know, that time when I did start, that was the perfect time, because this right now, this is the youngest I'll ever be, you know, and I'll continue to get older. So right now is the perfect time, you know. And you may be like 30, 40, and there is no, like, there is no time like, oh, it's too late now. There is no like too late. Right now is the perfect time. Seize the moment now. But yeah, you know, I'm 18 years old. I have dreams and aspirations, and, you know, I want to do something good in my life, and whether that may be, you know, me doing something that makes me happy or whatever. Like, I want to be the best at what I want to give my 100%, be the best at what I could ever be. And, you know, if that's like, if you're the best manager, you have to be that best manager. You have to give your 100%. You know, if it's the career you want to be in, whether it may be like a YouTuber, like, I'm not going to be like a YouTuber, a famous YouTuber or whatever, but, you know, I'm just getting my thoughts out there and getting, you know, I don't really have no one to talk to, but, you know, talking to this phone, honestly, does a lot for me. But be the best at what you can, and whatever you have, whatever you have, like, I don't have a camera, I'm using my phone, but whatever you have, you got to be the best at it, and you got to put your 100% in. If it's in school right now, give your 100%, because that's what your parents would want. You know, if you don't like your parents, I could see that, but just, if you have someone in a role model in your life, you know, if you want to make them happy, they would want you to do your 100%, and they would want you to give your 100%. So prove to them that, maybe to people that don't believe in you, or maybe they may laugh at you or whatever, you know, you can't really care what other people think, because in the end, who's going to be the one laughing? Who's going to be the one, you know, no one's here for you. No one's giving you a silver platter. No one's here to help you. You know, it's you and yourself, you know. You got to be the one to take initiative. You got to be the one to take action. And no one's here to help you. And if you're 30, if you're 29 and 27, whatever, you're in your late 20s and you have nothing going for you in life, just really ask yourself, like, come on, like, what are you doing? You know, ask yourself every single day, what would a millionaire do? What would a confident person do? And take initiative and research and do your own research and read and write. And, you know, you only have one life, and, you know, life keeps going. So no one's going to stop for you. You know, life keeps going. You just gotta roll with the punches. You gotta, you know, take initiative. You gotta be creative. You know, now is the time to make money. Now is the time to be confident. Now is the time to take initiative, because no one's going to help you. And I've been telling myself that every single day, and it's honestly, I see a difference. You know, I walk with my head up. You know, I don't really get nervous no more. You know, I go to the gym, I take care of myself. But yeah, ask yourself, how bad do you want it? You know, what do you want in life? And what are you willing to do to basically prove to the others that don't believe in you? You know, how are you going to prove your hypothesis, and how are you going to prove that you can do these extraordinary things? And, you know,